Hey everyone, this is Edita Sachel. I'm the owner and CEO of Sachel Global Travel Wellness, where I specialize in helping people who travel frequently and create their wellness, youthfulness, beauty routine when they travel. And it's all about before, during, after travel that they take so that they can have it all: beauty, success, youthfulness, family time, life, a work balance, and a lot of other things in life, and especially as we know, success. So since I'm actually specializing in travel wellness and everything about that, I love this topic. I invited Lana Thompson to talk about radiation, because we know that when we travel, we are exposed to some dose of radiation, and it's not only during travel, but even before we start the whole travel process. And especially now when we are at home during COVID, there are some risks related to radiation and so on. But I have this wonderful Lena here with us today because we met a few months ago. We were talking about things. She invited me to a lecture by one of the experts in the radiation area and so on. And I decided to talk to Lena because she has so much to share about things that are happening and things that are impacting our health, wellness, body, and so on. So Lena, it's wonderful to have you here, and if you can just tell us a little bit about yourself, that would be wonderful.
Sure. Hi, it's a great introduction, and I'm glad to be talking to you again. So just a little bit of background about myself. My background actually is in computer science. I graduated with a degree in computer science, spent 20 years in information technology, but my passion has always been mind-body connection. So I've also qualified as a Reiki NLP practitioner. And then about 2 years ago, I had some life-changing, I guess, transformation I went through.
Nice.
And things have started changing for me. So my IT life is now behind me. And I've started two companies. In one company, we provide companionship and transport services to people who can't get out and about. And another one, which I thought there was a beautiful kind of marriage relationship between them, because the other company I work with energy products. So these are programmable holograms that are programmed with frequencies and energies of nature, and they help so many of my clients with, to relieve them of sometimes even chronic pain and fatigue and insomnia and sleep and so many more things. So that's basically been my journey over the last year or so. But when we went into lockdown a few months ago, what I've started noticing is that even my healthiest of the healthiest friends and clients have started experiencing pretty much similar symptoms. So they were still exercising and eating healthy, and a lot of them into meditation or personal self-development. They actually said their lives have improved in a way because you were not rushed to get in a car and drive your child to school and then commute to London, and it was just kind of less chaotic, but yet they were feeling more stressed, they had headaches, they were not sleeping right, they were anxious, and also the children were struggling with with similar symptoms. And I could not really understand what was happening around me. So then I spoke to a founder of Nature's Frequency, and I described the symptoms to him, and he said to me, have you actually asked them what they're surrounded by? What is in the environment? How many phones and laptops and iPads? And do they have Wi-Fi boosters? Do they have transmitters? I'm especially in America, 5G transmitters outside their houses, the wirings. And I was like, light bulbs went in my head. And I thought, right, so maybe that is the cause of the problem. So for the last 6 months, I've been doing a lot of research on EMF, the health effects it has on our risks, and just trying to really get information out there. And also, the most important thing is what we can do to protect ourselves, because it's great to point out at all the, dangerous things and what we shouldn't do, but there are also things what we can do.
Excellent. And I have to tell you, everything what you're saying sounds like a nice characteristic of a frequent traveler as well, right? The insomnia, the fatigue, all of these things that are happening to our body. We're dehydrated when we travel. We have a lot of, impact the environment, the even airplane environment impacts our, body, our wellness, our skin, our youthfulness, our beauty, and all sorts of different things. So it's like, oh my goodness, you are describing a frequent traveler, but it looks like we don't have to travel to experience all of those symptoms, right? And the negative impact it has on us and our overall well-being, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you stay at home and you think this is the safest environment I can be in, and it actually isn't. We actually had my colleague, she came with the EMF measuring device here, and it was beeping. It was going red everywhere in the house. And, and then obviously put some protection place, so that's kind of changed the output. So you don't even have to leave your house. And I can only imagine if you took that scan and you went to the airports, and through the scanners that we walk through, where our bags go through, and the food, I was speaking about food and the creams, what happens to them, and on an aeroplane itself. And it's like little kids, the babies. And what's also important for us to realize is that the younger the child, the more they absorb, because the skulls are a lot thinner. So really, we're just drowning in that radiation.
So true. I agree, and I even advise people who travel how to plan your vacation, what destination you should go to actually protect yourself from that, cosmic radiation and so on. But anyway, let me ask you, so how can we protect ourselves from that radiation when we are at home and even when we travel? I know you have really some really good things or products or tools in your packets in your sleeve, if you will, that you can share with us and tell us a little bit more about. Like I said, I listened to a lecture to which you invited me, and I was actually inspired. And if you can even tell us about that sort of thing, which I talk about, putting the cream on the card, that was amazing, especially, for me and people who care about that youthfulness, beauty routine, a lot of ladies, etc.
Sure. So before, I start talking about what we can protect, how we can protect ourselves, I think it's important to really understand the biological impacts of electromagnetic radiation, and that it's separated. It can be classified as thermal and non-thermal. So the thermal effect is associated with the change in temperature when EMF is electromagnetic fields, when they react with our skin. For example, when we hold the phone, and the thermal effect just changes the temperature because of the transmission of the energy between the EMF and our skin. And that's not dangerous. And that's why we're told by the phone companies that there's no danger, and that's correct. But actually our skin absorbs mostly non-thermal radiation. And this non-thermal radiation is emitted by our phones and also many other gadgets, laptops, iPads, microwaves, etc. It causes very slight, almost insignificant temperature changes, but has a huge biological damage. And a few days ago, I was actually listening about it on a lecture. Dr. Mercola, he was talking about it. So EMF, it activates a channel. It's a calcium channel, which is embedded into the membranes of our cell. And when it's activated, it is 7 million times more sensitive, 7 million times more sensitive to EMF. So when it's activated, in less than 5 seconds, the million of calcium particles are released into our body. Mm-hmm. And that actually, because it also combined with other particles, and there's a whole chemical thing that happens within us, it increases the production of free radicals. It breaks our DNA and damages cells. Mm-hmm. So there's already, many studies have already found, the connection between EMF and stress and headaches and fatigues and insomnia, infertility, and actually other really some serious health risks that it carries, that exposure to EMF. Now, there are a number of ways we can obviously protect ourselves. We can be sensible, like just don't sleep with the phone under your pillow and try and put it on a fly mode. Ideally switch it off, but I know people rely on the phones like for the alarm clock. And, even my kids, my daughter especially, she's 7 and she only falls asleep to meditation music and she won't go to sleep. So I have to leave it on, but I would put it as far away as I can. And of course I turn it off, when I go to bed. Switching off Wi-Fi at night. I know some people do that. And, actually one of the doctors I was listening to, they said, well, it is good, but at the end of the day, we exposed it 16 hours, so turning it off for 8 hours, it's like, it's okay, but it's not going to change the weather. And the analogy they made, they said, imagine taking a hammer and smacking it on your hand for 16 hours and then leaving it for 8 hours. You're still going to be pretty bruised and in pain. So that's, it doesn't really do the trick. But some people actually sleep in Faraday cages. I guess, if some people really go to these extremes. Obviously, there's no cell phone, there's no reception at all in a cage like that. Other people paint the rooms in EMF paint. Also, earthing mats have been used by many, and there's dots and crystals. So there's various modalities that are out there. The products that I have been using on myself, my family, my clients, and they have been used for the last 7 years by medical practitioners, are called EMF shields. My phone just kind of dissolved into the background. I'm going to just actually change my background quickly so I can show you what that looks like. So it's just like a sticker, that goes in the back of your phone. And what it does, it doesn't block the radiation. It filters out the harmful frequencies of EMF, but it harmonizes and neutralizes our bodies. And it's actually incredible, the changes that some people experience in the well-being, in the health. We actually have one client in America, and in 2019, he was diagnosed with brain tumor. So he had an operation, and even after the operation, he said that he would get frequent headaches and dizziness. He was almost convinced that the tumor came back. So he went for a checkup, and a doctor said to him, there's nothing wrong. Here's the drugs, go home, medicate yourself. So when he got the EMF shields, he said within hours, he could feel the difference. And I mean, he's not the only one, who says this kind of things. So EMF shields are fantastic. They last a year. And even, some of our kinesiologists, they tested they 7 years later, they said it's still just as good as new. And they're super simple to use. You just stick them on, right? And then you take your phone everywhere with you, your laptop, wherever else. I mean, I've got it on, on my wireless, on my routers, on my TV, smart meters. I mean, smart meters, huge when it comes to EMF. It's like a big hub. Just stick a couple of EMF shields there. I know that some of the dentists use them in their practice. They would even put them on a CT scans, on an X-ray machine, etc.
So we can take them with us when we travel, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. You just, you obviously travel with your phone. So there's your phone. And when you talk on it, then at least you're not absorbing this non-thermal radiation. So yeah, absolutely. And especially, for the little children, because I mean, my children love iPads. I mean, who doesn't, right? They've got very restricted time, but, I often see like toddlers in their pram sitting on their iPads. And if you just think how much gets into their body, into their cells, and at such a young age, and then of course you've got so many health issues like ADHD and, all the other kind of issues that could be caused by this, just put a sticker on, and at least it's just extra protection. That's all it takes, just one sticker.
I like that. No, like I said, I listened to that presentation that you invited me, and it was very interesting. Can you tell us? I love that. I'm going back to that. Cream that the doctor told us about. You have the card. You put the cream, then you can put the cream on your face. Can you give us a minute or two on that?
Yes, of course. So another product we have that also protects you from EMF is called the earthing card. Now, EMF shields are great, but you stick them on a device, and if your neighbors have like Wi-Fi boosters, you've got wirings under your house or practice office, it's not going to help you. So what this earthing card does, it actually protects you from electromagnetic radiation within a 3-meter radius. So your whole house is safe. Now, for those who are listening, if you're not familiar with benefits of earthing and grounding, there is an amazing film on Netflix called The Earthing Movie. I really was watching. But basically what it is, it's programmed with the frequencies of Earth. And when you absorb these frequencies, it's like you recharge your body. So it actually energizes not just your body, but even things around you. And interestingly, I had a call with one of the doctors recently. She said she took this card and she gave it to her daughter because her daughter's got a chronic fatigue. So when she rang me, she said her daughter's energy levels were through the roof, But the most incredible thing happened was that she waved it over her dead plants, and her plants came alive because it changes the frequencies. So you can use it on your water, on your food. I've got clients who have conditions like fibromyalgia, and they say the energy levels have been really, really high since using this. And like you mentioned, you know, the docs, some of the doctors, they actually put cream on here, and then they'll rub it on a bit and they apply it on the face because it energizes the cream also. And you can do similar with water. You can either wave it over your water, or you can put on top of the glass, or some people now run the water over the card into like a spray bottle, and then they spray it on the face for energy. One of the best tricks I've learned for sleep, because so many of my clients really struggle with sleep, and you can put a earthing card on your pillowcase, you know, and everybody reacted differently. I know my mom tried and she said it was really, really good for her, but some still struggled. But what worked for many, it was earthing the water in each glass. So you run the water over the earthing card in a glass, and you put 4 glasses, so 1 on each corner of the bed, and you go to sleep. And every single person who's tried that, they were amazed how incredible it works. So that's, you know, so especially when you travel, you know, and you're so jet lagged, right? Because I know I used to work in the US, and it's like 8 hours difference. And next day you've got to go to the office and you're exhausted and you can't sleep. I mean, I'd wake up at like 2, 3 in the mornings, and I'm on a 4th day, I could just collapse. I was so tired. So if somebody gave this to me and gave me the trick, oh gosh, that would have been incredible.
I like that because, you know, like a lot of frequent travelers, they are having problems with either insomnia or jet lag, or problems to fall asleep, or, you know, getting used to this new thing, which is the new time zone and so on, climate and weather and temperature, etc., etc. So there are a lot of problems. Lana, can you tell us where can we find you and those wonderful products you are talking about?
Sure. So, I mean, you can get in touch with me, Lana Thompson. I'm on LinkedIn. You can just link me. And you can also email me at thompson.lana@gmail.com. And on Facebook, Nature's Frequencies UK. So maybe under, you know, under the video, in the comments below, I'll just also put my, the links to my social media. It'll be great to connect with anybody who's interested on EMF, even just to chat and just to talk and, you know.
And do you have a website? Do you have a website?
Yeah, it's www.naturesfrequencies.com/UK. So all the information is there on the products.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. And then final question, how much on average do the products cost, so that we know high level?
So for example, for a pack of EMF shields, for a family pack, and you get 8 shields, which last a year, it's $99 US dollars. And the earthing cards, you know, it really depends. You can buy it also as a pack with other products for about $300, or you can buy it on its own for $200. And earthing card lasts 3 years. So, and it's, you know, it's used for energy, for pain relief. I use it a lot on my daughter. You can use it on animals, you know, if your animals are not well. So it's like a multi-purpose card. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. So for the value of the money, it's actually quite good, right? I mean, the health and wellness is priceless, right? For all of us, especially for our kids, family members, ourselves, and so on. Wonderful.
Exactly.
Lana, is there anything else you want to add? You want to mention that thing, you know, it's worth just saying?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think the exposure to electromagnetic radiation isn't going anywhere. 5G is coming, and I know it's already in a lot of places, and actually they're going to be sending out satellites, which is going to further, you know, project the 5G, and it's like transmitters clearly not just going to be enough. So we're going to be continuously surrounded and drowning in it. This creates so many external stresses on our bodies, that I think we just got to stay educated and informative, and just obviously make up our minds as to which measures you want to take to protect our health and the health of our loved ones.
Wonderful. Lana, thank you very much. To all of you who are listening, thanks again. And this is Edita Satchel. I'm the owner of Satchel Global Travel Wellness. And this is where you can find me, satchelglobal.com, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.